Good morning, adjudicators, dear guests, honourable guests, principals and fellow teachers and fellow students. We are a team from King's College with 5 students. I'm Rex Loy.
I'm Moses Wong.
I'm Plato Fong.
I'm Kelvin Yuan.
And I'm Sunny Ho.
Okay, so good morning, and we are very honoured to be able to share a little echo of our winning project, a worthwhile endeavour, a case study on the environmental protection efforts in Hong Kong. So our research links 3 major elements, 3 key blocks, and we can see here. The first one is environmental indicators. The second one is indicators of economic development, and the third one is the government efforts that brings about changes in the previous 2 blocks.
During the brainstorming process of our project, there was a ban on the one-use plastic tableware. Also, there were discussions about a levy on the household waste disposal. In other words, there exists an attention towards the environmental protection from the both general public and the government. Therefore, we would like to gain a broader picture of the Hong Kong conversational status by further investigating on some related data. And this is how we were inspired to pursue this topic.
So we have highlighted several correlations that we can find between environmental indicators and economic indicators, and we would like to highlight 2 of them here. First one, we have identified a potential correlation between the index of industrial production, and that is an indicator of the gross domestic production amount of the industrial sector in Hong Kong, and the industrial municipal waste disposed from 2015 to 2021, and we can see here that after 2019, the pandemic crunch, there is a shrink in both in the industrial output amounts and the amount of municipal waste generated, and we suspect that there is a correlation between the 2 in that any growth or recession in the industrial sectors will directly or indirectly translate to the amount of environmental pollution or the waste generated to the environment. And we have also made a rather bold correlation between the greenhouse gases emissions and the Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong during 2010 to 2022. The Hang Seng Index is a very complicated economic indicator, and we also know that many different factors affect its changes. However, we do believe that the amount of greenhouse gases emissions do reflect to some degree in the Hang Seng indexes. We suspect that this is because as the economy grows or contracts, the greenhouse gases emissions first reflects this development because, of course, production is needed. Production methods that generate greenhouse gases are needed to ensure any economic prosperity, and then this is later reflected in the Hang Seng Index in aspects such as the investors' confidence, for example.
Okay, so from these graphs here, so you can see that so we've done some research on the air quality and also the public health expenditures here. So we've seen that, for example, for Singapore here, you can see the Singapore's air quality levels are better than Hong Kong, as there are a less, for example, amounts of some suspended particulates and also some air pollutants. So that's why, but Hong Kong, we are having a higher amount of in these pollutants levels. So therefore, there's also a correlation between the pollution level and also the healthcare expenditures. So you can see that for Hong Kong, we have a higher health expenditure than Singapore. So we've made some discoveries, for example, when the higher the pollution level, then the expenditure for health is high because there may be more diseases people have, and also like, for example, the respiratory diseases and etc. So another impact is that seeing like the weather is getting more extreme around the world. So for example, in Hong Kong, we can see the storm surge numbers are increasing year by year, as for example, like you see Typhoon Mangkhut, and also like other extreme rainfall, like for last September with also very extreme rainfall. So you can see the economic burden on disaster restoration will be higher, as we need more money or capital to clear the scenes and etc. So that's why the greenhouse gas emission, as it's getting higher, then the climate is getting more extreme, then we're getting more extreme weather, then we're also having more expenditures on like government expenditure on environmental work and etc. So here comes two recommendations. So the first one is that the government really needs to support environmental engineering industries. Like, for example, Hong Kong, we are a place like Eco Hub. Like, so we need to reduce our pollutants and like improve our environment so that, or like support some environmental industries to develop the have better environmental work for the city, so that we can attract more people to come, and our competitiveness and also reputation. And also another point is that we need to take some precautions, like during construction projects, like for example in the the third runway of the airport. So we also had done some work, like for example we have a new marine park in North Lantau, and also some we are having some wildlife tunnels in some places, like such as in the northern metropolis. So we have some work like that to improve our wildlife and to conserve the environment. So.
Then about the statistical techniques we use, actually we didn't use much advanced techniques or application during the research. We just use the simple computation like linear regression that have installed in the software to find the trend line of the set of data to find out the trend.
And during the making of the project, we actually come across a few of the challenges and limitations. The first being that we don't have a professional software to accurately interpret data. We have only used Excel to actually just compute the data. Moreover, we haven't take account the reliability of some of the sources, such as Greenpeace, which have a smaller sample size. The data related to our topic is also more scattered. We need to make great effort and out-of-the-box thinking to make great effort to gather relevant data aside from the Census and Statistics Department, such as the Ocean Park Conservation Foundation and the Hong Kong Bird Watching Society.
To improve our project, there are some potential extensions we can do. First is the correlation of specific fields in question can be further investigated. Use more concrete statistical tools to objectively describe the trends of correlation. For example, the correlation coefficient can be integrated to describe and explain and quantify how strong the correlation between the indicators. Also, the scope of our research is wider than it's deep, so a more in-depth research can be done on each specific aspect.
Okay, so what do we have for takeaway in our project? So we have concluded that the environmental preservation is a very lengthy process. The effects of the policies regarding environmental conservation are often seen like years or decades after its implementation. So this is a very slow process that requires lots of trial and error. We also recommend the governments to take a more initiative-based approach in policy making instead of a reactive or remediation-based approach, because a problem is best solved when it's still in small scale and in its infancy. So if the government takes a more initiative approach to locate problems before they happen, this will induce less cost in treating the problems before it escalates. And also, we have learned to be open-minded and be curious to look around us and see if there's news or anything of particular interest that excites us, and then keep an open mind and a mind of curiosity, so that we actively go and look for new statistical projects to explore, any areas of interest that we would like to know more in, so that we can conduct even our own independent research after this competition. So this should be a never-ending process of learning from the world around us and just improving ourselves in general. And also, in conclusion, for this environmental conservation topic, we as Hong Kong, as responsible citizens, and also as the Asia's world city, we should make sustainable endeavors and contribute to the conservation of our environments, ourselves as a city and as a citizen, because the rewards will be there for all humanity to see. And during our project, we've also had quite a lot of interesting events happening, and we really do believe that effective coordination between our team members is really a key to making this project work. And of course, we are very grateful for that. We tend to focus on areas that we ourselves are more familiar with or have more insight into. For example, so we'll have people working with graphs, we'll have people doing research, we'll have people writing the descriptions or trying to explain the trends in the data. So our mutual support in doing our own thing, but then at the same time collaborating and coordinating together really is something that makes this project work. And of course, we are immensely grateful. Thank you very much, and this is the end of our sharing.
多謝各位同學，請同學到台下就座。